Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to live stream number 20,400 and just kidding, we haven't really done that many, but anyways, welcome to the live stream. Tonight we're continuing work on No Place Like, the open source JavaScript platformer adventure shooter game, which is leveraging Phaser.js version 3, along with Webpack and Babel and all kinds of good stuff. In tonight's stream, we plan on finishing up our dialogue system, and after which we'll pick through the issues and find something new to work on. So let's get going, shall we? So first things first is we're going to carry on with the basic dialogue system, which is we've got an issue for on the GitHub page already. And that one is the only one that's assigned to me, so let's open it up and just see what's been done so far. So we already have a couple commits pushed online for that. So we have the first one, which just adds a basic subtitle system, along with a second commit which updates the dialogue system with a, again, basic, but QA system, so question answer system. Welcome, viewer. And yeah, so anyways, let's continue on with this and see what we can refine and get working just perfectly, perfecter than perfectly. So let's just check our, go into the game first, that'll help. So game's No Place Like, and just check our branch and our status. So we're still on the dialogue branch, so that's good. We're on start. And that'll boot up our dev server and open up our game. Pardon me. So, right on. So this is our character. I was going to add WSAD controls for this type of main character as well last stream, but I forgot. So we're still stuck moving with arrow keys for now. But anyways, you'll see if you click them, he'll ask you, what's up, G? I've been sleeping all day. What you got? Because this is going to be an NPC who's expecting us to bring him materials from the field. I think that actually might be the next logical thing to work on, would be creating an inventory system after we just work out any bugs and to make sure everything's working fine in our dialogue system. So for now, you can say, huh, or I got stuff, so let's try I got stuff. And then, what have you got for me today? Question mark. And now this comes up as another question. That's kind of a little bit of a bug, is that the question shows as a regular subtitle first and then disappears and then comes back with the answers, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's fine like that. And anyways, so you can say I've got some stuff, or I just wanted to chat. And I believe I got some stuff. I could be mistaken, but I got some stuff I think is linking a callback instead of linking to a separate dialogue object in our this big dialogue object of objects here. So yeah, got junk is the one that we're looking at, so that's a question is true, so it comes up with it'll check for answers. And yeah, the left yeah, we did kind of change the answer thing. It should, I want it to be an array that you can pass any number of answers into. The only problem with doing it that way is that it's kind of tricky to get all those to display in a nice looking way on the screen and still have the game be responsive. If we were doing straight like HTML CSS, it would actually be pretty easy, but with the canvas stuff that we're doing with Phaser, it's a little bit trickier. Anywho, you can see that the left side response is passing in a callback, which is just a basic, it's just an empty function. So let's actually put something in that callback and see if that callback is indeed being called. And if not, that'll be the first thing we need to implement in this stream. So let's test this and see if anything gets logged, but we're gonna need the JavaScript console for that. That's not quite what I wanted. How about that? So I'm just gonna decrank the music ever so slightly because it's a little loud for me. Ollie D's, how you doing tonight, bro? I'm good, man. How about you? Just getting on with the dialogue system, hoping to finish that up this stream. What did you get up to today? Or today, tonight? Living the dream. Nice, man. Yeah. Is it night? Is it night for you, or night for you, or day, or like what? What's it look like out your window right now? Unless you live underground like these guys, in which case, what's going on? Oh, 9:36 p.m. Damn, same as me. Cool, man. Right on. Yeah. So I got stuff. We'll take you to what do you got me today? What do you got for me today? And this brings up 2 more questions, and this is the one that should be triggering our callback, so let's see if it actually does. Oh, it logged something. It logged a pointer, which is weird, but I thought that was going to be a reference to the NPC. Oh, but... Huh. That's pretty weird. Just put a like arbitrary string so we know that it is for sure this this console log that's triggering that. I'm pretty sure it is, but like just to be extra double sure before we go off on a debugging route there. Oh, I've already got other gibberish being console log. That's great. Good debugging, Kirk. Good debugging. Ollie D's, is there anything you'd want to see us develop tonight out of... Here, I'll send you the issues list. Anything on there that you'd want to see as a request after we finish the dialogue system? Because I don't think the dialogue's going to take too much time. What have you got for me today? He says. And then, yeah, got some stuff. Oh, right, okay. So yeah, it is logging our gibberish as yep. So it is calling the callback, which is interesting. But it's passing in a pointer instead of an NPC. It looks like we were expecting an NPC. So nothing in particular, just enjoying the show. Right on, man. Cool. Yeah, so that's weird. So where is this? Let's find out where this callback is being called, and that should probably illuminate a bit for us. So answer.left.callback. Okay, so we're okay because we're passing it in direct. Okay, so right, because we're expecting that NPC in there. What we should probably do is something like this, make a fat arrow function because of that buttery ES6 goodness that we were using, and then. We don't actually need that pointer, so we don't really need to specify that argument in there. But we will call the callback like this now, and we'll pass in the NPC there, which we're taking in apparently, and the show question. I'm just going to assume that that is actually the NPC. I sure hope I wouldn't write like that level of poorly described code, but I don't know. I'm sure I've done worse. But anyways, yeah, so we'll pass the NPC in there, and we'll just do the same thing on the right callback. And then, hopefully in theory, now we'll be logging the NPC instead of a pointer. I think it was just logging the pointer because we were passing it in directly to the pointer event. And I think that the argument that it gives you by default in the pointer event is the pointer that that triggered the pointer event, which makes sense. But in our case, it's not exactly what we want. So yeah, we're going to have to switch it up a little bit like so. So hopefully that worked. I also might cut out some of this dialogue because it is kind of annoying to run through this every single time we want to test something. What you got? Or you know what we can do? We can just speed it up. That's what I did last time, and I think that worked all right. So that would be in the... I know I just had a comment that said milliseconds, so... Or 100 milliseconds? There we go. Just searching for the comment that I know is there. Whatever works, right? So let's make it like 10 milliseconds per character. That should be like way faster. Sub G. Okay, yeah, cool. A bit faster. Fast enough. What you got? Then he says, I got stuff. What have you got for me today? And then you say, I've got some stuff. So now this should trigger our callback. And there it is, kaboom. And it is now referencing the engineer sprite, which is our NPC. So we are good to go. And that part of our generic logic is working. So you can now specify either a link to a different dialog object that answer will then take you to, or you can specify a callback, which is just your own custom function that gets called when that button gets clicked, which we're probably going to do for things like opening menus or like if we were trading something, or just custom behavior. That's the whole point of that. So anyway, yeah. Might as well just leave that as is for now, because we're probably going to be adding on to that pretty soon after we finish the inventory system. Well, I guess it won't be super soon, because we're going to have to do an inventory system. We're also going to have to do a generic item class probably, so we can instantiate or extend individual items from that class. And then also, we're going to need like a drop system out in the field, so when you kill bad guys, randomly they'll drop items effectively. And yeah, so anyways, it might be a little while until we get to the actual like engineering system, but that's okay. That's all good. We can still just leave that as is. I don't see it hurting anything. And also, I'm just going to add WSAD controls to this NPC really quick, because that is bothering me. But first, I'm just going to check in that our fix we just did there. So get status, get diff. Oh, and I changed the text to going fast, but that's fine. Whatever. That can just make its way into master, and then maybe we'll fix it later on. Fast text isn't going to hurt anybody while we're testing, anyways. Unless you were like really invested in that little bit of if you were really invested in that little bit of dialogue we had, then I don't know, sorry. Anyway, so this don't answer right. Yeah, okay, so that's all good. That's the fix we just implemented, and I don't see any additional weirdness again other than just changing 100 milliseconds to 10, but no big deal there. So let's say git add all to stage everything, git commit -m, and we'll reference the issue number, which is in this case is 51. So 51, let's just say fixes callback, or fixes answer callback NPC argument, I suppose. About as descriptive as any. Cool, so that should be good. And we'll say git push origin kirk-51- basic dialog. Righto. Cool. Okay, so that's working. Let's boot up our dev server again. I'm not going to bother doing a pull request until a little... Well, you know what? I probably should do a pull request now, just because... Actually, I should do a pull request, and I should... maybe... No, I'll just commit that WSAD directly onto master. We don't need to create an issue for that or anything. We can just be kind of dirty and just put that on master. No big deal. No issue number. I'm not even gonna... That's fine. Create a pull request. And merge the pull request. Confirm merge. And give that a second. And there we go. Pull request successfully merged and closed. We can delete the branch if we want. I'm not going to just yet, but yeah. Anyways, so now if we head on over to master, we should see our changes merged into master. And there it is, merge pull request, and fixes the answer callback NPC argument, aka our last commit. So now let's just quickly dive in and, okay, dev server's running, cool. Yeah, let's just give this guy WSAD controls as well as the keyboard controls. which is going to be super easy because we already implemented it on the like fighting version of him. We just didn't port those over to like the passive version as well for like safe area maps. So let's take a look at it would just be MC Africa for the passive one. So passive one is just MC Africa, and then the fight version is just MC Africa Fight. And basically all we need to do is we created an MC Africa Fight. Somewhere in here we created, that's the wrong function, down here perhaps? Yeah, right here. WSAD, we created this config, and we have to import the input object from Phaser. We can do that in a moment. I'm just going to move MC Africa norm like passive over here. So yeah, right under where we're creating the arrow keys with that little helper function, we'll do that, and then we'll also make sure we get the imports right. So way up the top. So game objects input, apparently from Phaser. Input, impute, input. That's the one. So now we've got input, so these lines aren't going to error and tell us that input doesn't exist. Am I self-taught? Asks Ollie D's. Yeah, man. Mostly. I did go to university for like, it's kind of the murky gray area. I don't know. I went to university for like, who remembers, like a year and a half or something, and then I kind of decided it wasn't really for me, and I just a lot of the stuff that they were teaching me was stuff that, not to like sound like I'm bragging on myself, but it was stuff that I'd already kind of learned on my own. And so I was kind of like sitting there thinking like, man, why am I paying like $400 or $500 a course for this when like, it's just like repeat kind of information. Don't get me wrong, there were totally gaps in my knowledge that university filled in, which was cool. But I guess at that stage of life, I didn't really want to do it. Same as this stage of life. Maybe in the future, I'm not totally gonna like shut the door on it, but I'm thinking probably not, because like it's just, there's so much information online now, and it's just so easy to like, well, not easy to teach yourself, it's hard. You got to really work at it and you got to really want it, but like there's just so much information out there to do that, right? So yeah. So anyways, we just got to implement those WSAD controls now and like mix them with the actual control logic, or like the movement logic, which is down here. So yeah, we're just adding OR statements on all the button presses basically, so that's easy enough for it to do. So where's our, here we go, touching ground and pointer one, so that's touch controls. Yeah, here we go, computer controls, perfect. So if left is down, or A dot is down. Oh, but hold the phone. Real quick, we gotta deconstruct these as well. So we gotta do, I'm just gonna jack this line right here instead of retyping it. Boink. Now we got WDA, because we're not actually using S yet, so just WDA, but whatever. So right is down, or D dot is down. The Mitching Hour says, hey mate, what's up, dude? How are you tonight, whatever hour it is for you? How's your day been? How's it going? Tell me a little bit about yourself, sir. And Ollie D says, yeah, definitely. Outside of indie work, it's more relying on that piece of paper, degree, saying that you can do it. Yeah, man, that's so true. And like, honestly, man, like I found the further I got in my career too, like just in terms of like the number of jobs I'd had and like the time I'd held those jobs down for, the easier it got to get new jobs. So like nowadays, like I don't even really like have that like, I don't feel like I have to get my foot in the door anymore, because like I've had enough jobs that like my resume kind of just says like, well, sure, this guy doesn't have a degree, but like he's done like 5 developer jobs, so like he can't be that bad. Little do they know. Just kidding. Anyways, so, or up is down. Doing good, it's Mitch from Discord. Oh, okay, the Mitching Hour. Mitch, makes sense, I gotcha. Cool, dude. How's it? Yeah, nice to see you here, man. Thanks for joining. Right. and we had up is down, which is just the weirdest like line of code to read as plain English. Up is down. Just, you know, that makes sense. And that would just be W. So yeah, up is down, or W dot is down. So let's save that and test our hopefully brand new shiny WSAD controls. And look at that, they're working like a charm. I mean, you guys can't really see, but I'm not pushing the arrow keys now. I'm now pushing the WS or WAD. S isn't being used yet, but yeah, maybe we'll use S for some S, or maybe we'll use S in the down key for something in the future, like a crouch or like a shield or something. I don't know. That could be kind of cool. Anyways, yeah, so now that we've got that, we've got our very basic dialogue system going. I think it's high time we got started on the inventory system and the items and all that, but I'm just not sure quite where exactly we should start on that. Whether or not we should start with the generic class for, yeah, so we've got the extendable item class, and I think the word is actually extensible, but we'll just gloss over that fact that I can't speak English. And anyway, so we've got the item class that we can extend and create items out of. Then we have an inventory for storing those items relative to our character. And also the enemy drop system, where the enemies actually drop items when we kill them, and we can pick those items up and they get added into our inventory. So I think the first thing, it would make sense to create the item class, maybe draw a couple items that we can use. Yo, JL, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. Good to see you here. How's your day been treating you? But yeah, I'm thinking extendable item class is probably the first one to go for, because, yeah, really, it... hold on, was there what other stuff did we have in between here and there? Yeah, you know what? No, I'm not going to read through all the issues right now. Let's just, yeah, let's do that. Let's start on the extendable item class, create a few little test instantiations, just like a couple little like doodads that like the robots might drop, and yeah, and then we can move on maybe to the, well, yeah, I suppose the drop would be a good next place for that. Now the item class is going to be a kind of an interesting class, because in my sort of my idea of how it would look, that there's got to be a better word for that, but in my idea of how it works document, which is definitely not the technical term, but I wrote that we were probably going to be extending the image or the sprite class if the picture of the item was animated, which maybe sometimes it will be. So I think extending sprite would make more sense, just because then it can be animated or it can also not be animated. However, this is going to be like, if we were to extend sprite, that would mean, okay, that what my thought process right now is that if we were to extend sprite, that would be like a physical object in our game that has physics properties applied to it and all that kind of junk. But like, what happens when we then want to use that in like a user interface? Although as I was sort of like working through that problem, or just like explaining that problem just now, I kind of had the thought that like maybe a good little simple workaround would be to just disable all the physics and just position the sprite wherever you need it on the screen for the UI, when it's kind of like in UI mode, so to speak. So yeah, why don't we do that? Let's just, I'm going to add a note of that just so that we don't lose track of that. But sprite, or item classes, or item class should, good man, good lord, I can't type or speak English, or, oh, good, I'm just a mess. Anyways, item class should have two modes. One of them will be like the in-game mode, or we'll just make a Boolean. So item class should have just mode boolean, and we'll call it just UI mode, which is to say physics is disabled and the item is placed wherever the UI calls for. Yeah, so that means just like gravity won't affect it. It's not going to be worrying about collision detection. All that kind of stuff will be disabled. And it's going to be worrying about like, does the user click on it instead of like, is the user actually crashing into it kind of thing. And JL, you said, today has been really productive. You accomplished a lot. Dude, rad. That's sick. What kind of stuff were you working on? Just like personal projects or work projects or a bit of both, or mowing the lawn? That's productive too. Although I don't have a lawn. I live in an apartment, so I could like mow my balcony, but that might cause issues. Right, so yeah, let's create a branch for this and get cracking, shall we? So git status scan, just make sure, oh, we do have uncommitted stuff. What is that? Oh, that's our WSAD, right. So let's just put that on master real quick. So I'm gonna be dirty and just commit it right to master, which we shouldn't really be doing, but oh man, but I've got a pull request I just merged into master, didn't I? I don't think I've pulled that locally yet, so we might have some git collisions here, but we'll see. Git, or I haven't committed anything, so maybe not. Pull origin master. Yay, look at that. Didn't yell at us, didn't have any complaints. That's brilliant. So let's say we are in master, right? I mean, I just pulled from master, so yeah, okay. Anyways, so we'll say git add all. So everything's staged, as we can see. Git committee, git committee. That'd be a weird committee. Git commit, and the sort of like dirty salute, it shows how many times I've done this, like committing directly to master, even though I always say you shouldn't do it. If you're not doing if you're working on something that doesn't directly relate to an issue number, then just write number, not a number, NaN, and then it's fine. Then it's not bad practice anymore. You just, that one little keyword and you're good. It's not really how it works, but I'll just keep telling myself that. So not a number, and just adds WSAD controls to passive MC Africa, like that. Cool. Git push origin master from the master blaster. Haha. Master Blaster 4. I have a history of Master Blaster computers, and it's a chronicle older than time, I dare say. But nah, this is Master Blaster 4, and it's my favorite so far. I just missed Linux. That's what it was. My last computer was a Mac, and like I was starting to get into it, and I was sort of liking it. And there were a lot of features that I did really enjoy. Like I loved how you could have different apps full screen and swipe between them really nicely. That's a really cool feature of Mac. But yeah, for developer stuff, Linux has just got it totally creamed. I also do miss being able to use the Adobe suite really easily, but yeah. Nice. Oh, and you ordered some beautiful 8 gigabytes of memory. Nice, dude. Sweet. Was that, okay, were you guys chatting about that on the last stream, about how that was, you were helping out your, I want to say your brother with his computer? If I'm totally out to lunch, just tell me, like, Kirk, you're bad. But anyway, yeah, that's Hale 26. Oh, yes. Yes. Ah, nice. Boom. Cool, man. That's sick, though. Yeah, that's... I'm not really sure what my next target for an update on this is going to be. Actually, maybe you guys would know the best thing to update. So, like, I've got an old i5, but it works really well. I'm running a desktop computer, so I've got an old i5. I've got 8 gigs of RAM. Like what type of RAM that is, I honestly couldn't tell you. It was $40 to add another 4 gigs, so maybe that price point will give you some sort of hint. But anyways, or maybe I got ripped off. Who knows? And then yeah, I guess those really be the specs right now. Like it's got a SSD as well, but like that's not really super important for. Well, I guess SSD actually helps with the performance, but anyway. 40 isn't bad. Okay, nice. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I really like those computer guys, so I was really like hoping they weren't ripping me off, but also my knowledge of hardware is so like that like they could have ripped me off and I would have been like, okay. Oh, what's the power supply age? Oh man, that's a super good question, and honestly no idea. I Hale 26, if I had to guess, I would say the power supply is probably up there in age because I bought the whole system used, and I bought it for like $300. And when I first bought it, it came with 4 gigs of RAM plus the i5 and plus like the SSD. It's a small SSD, but it's fine. It's enough for me. Or the drive age. Okay, those are too cheap to replace. Okay, cool. That's good to know. That's really good to know actually, because yeah, at the moment I am totally like cashless. A magical fairy just apparently like dropped like $20 into my checking account somehow today. I have literally no idea how that happened, but yeah, it was really nice, and I went and bought a breakfast sandwich with that. Well, not all of it, but a breakfast sandwich, and bust out to the middle of like nowhere, just my hometown, my whatever. Anyways, yeah, I went for a bus ride and bought a breakfast sandwich. If your apps run slow, says JL, you should get some good CPU. If you can't run enough apps, then get some RAM. Whoa, those are some good like words to live by. Okay, wow, I'm gonna remember that like forever, man. Thanks, that's actually super awesome advice. That is very clear and makes perfect sense. Hey, you can help me if money is tight. Oh, cheers, dude. Yeah. You know, to be honest, I'm actually like not really too. This is the only thing that I'm not really happy with. Oh, do I have a donate or you know what? Believe it or not, I actually hit affiliate status at the end of the last stream. I just didn't set it all up yet, just because like I couldn't find some of my banking information. But next stream, I'll have that all ready. So thanks, man. Cheers. Yeah, anyways, the only thing that currently is actually kind of bothering me about this setup is I'm not able to stream 1080p for you guys. At the moment, like OBS is only letting me stream 720, and it is up to 60 FPS now, so that's better. But yeah, it maxes out at 720, so like I honestly have no idea if that means like, does that mean like I need like a graphics card, or does that mean I need like a different monitor, or like I honestly have no idea where to start. Oh, Hales 26 says 720 is fine. Oh, okay, well, cool. I mean, if that works for you guys, then cool. Right on. Just like I'm just always kind of nervous that like especially the text in my IDE and stuff is just like not readable for you guys at times. I don't know if that's the case, but if it's all good and it's readable, then like yeah, I mean, does everything really need to be 1080? Like 720 is still pretty decent, at least for like video and stuff. I mean, like for like I don't know. I'm just worried about the text really, but yeah. Anyways, okay. Anyways, let's bring it all back down to making games and stuff. So let's now we need to create. We just pushed that, didn't we? I think so. I'm just gonna double check, triple confirm. 82 commits, and there we go, WSAD controls. So yeah, cool. So let's go check out. So get check out. Kirk dash, hold on. Get checkout oot dash B for a new branch. Kirk dash 63, which is the issue number. I always like to reference it in the branch. And we'll say Kirk63, and we'll say what? Just item class, I guess. Item class. And cool, so we got a branch going. We can say npm run start to boot up our server. And give that a sec, and it'll do its thing. And we can get cracking. Also, at some point or another, we are going to have to address the fact that either we make our guy jump higher, or we're going to have to fiddle with the map just a little bit, because currently we're stuck down here. We can't get out of this. That's it. That's as far as we can get. I thought, when I was designing the map, I thought we'd be able to jump from wall to wall kind of thing. The clarity, I think, is it in the buffering, how much your connection lets you push, and the filtering, but it looks clear. Oh, okay, cool, man. Yeah, like one thing that like kind of was a blessing in disguise about this computer was it doesn't have like a wireless card, so I was kind of like, ah, man, it can't connect to Wi-Fi. But then I realized that like, hey, yo, like I have to use a wired connection, but actually for streaming and stuff, that's way better, because like you're obviously going to get better connection through a wire than you are through like waves. But yeah, okay, so anyway, so let's get, yeah, so first thing we want to do is create a few items, and maybe we'll just drop them all around all over the place for now, just have them appear in the scene. So we'll deal with the physical version of the item first, UI version of the item second. So let's ditch out of all this because we don't really need any of that. Although actually, you know what, hold on, there is one thing I want to open, and it will be an, believe it or not, it's going to be an enemy, because the enemy is extending the sprite class, and so too will our item. So now this is a funny thing, like where should items live? Because they're sprites, but they're also kind of UI. I guess, I mean, sprites kind of just make sense still. I'm thinking at some point we're gonna have to like do some kind of like slight refactor and abstract UI stuff a little bit better. Oh, or make them double jump, says JL. That would be pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, double jump would be sick, actually. I'm just thinking of how that would work with our current jump system, because currently, like, I guess just, yeah, start a new jump the minute, like, you hit that. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be too hard, actually, and just, yeah. The only thing, though, is, like, currently you can't turn in midair the way we've got it set up, because I want it to be a little bit more realistic, because, like, or you can turn, but you can't, like, change direction of the direction of your jump, so you wouldn't be able to, like, jump, kind of, like, you wouldn't be able to go, like, up and then to the side, or, like, to one side and then to the other side, kind of, if my terrible webcam demonstration made any sense. But, you could definitely, like, we could definitely make it so, like, you jump and then, like, jump again, like, and just keep going in that same direction. And that probably would make it so you could get up onto those blocks and kind of solve that problem. So, yeah, why don't we look at doing that in, after this, JL? So, do the item.js, but before we start coding that, I'm just going to switch here, throw in a new issue, and say, yoink. Double jump. So I hope you don't mind, JL. I'm giving you credit on the thing. JL says, or make him double jump. Cool, so double jump, that's coming up next. But for now, we're gonna deal with the items and eventually basic inventory and stuff. That's the plan. So why don't we drop like an item just over here to start with. So before we do any of that, we're gonna have to extend item and do all the a lot of the similar like leg groundwork that we're doing with the enemy. So first of all, let's get our imports set. So game object, objects plural, excuse me, from phaser, and then we'll say we'll destruct the, not the struct, we'll destruct the sprite object from game objects. And if you guys haven't seen destructuring yet, I think that's how you read it. It's a cool new ES6 feature, much like this object-oriented stuff we're doing with the classes and the extending. All of our JavaScript is ES6, so we're leveraging it pretty hard in this project. And if you guys don't know about ES6 yet, it's solid and yeah, definitely worth learning because it's like a game changer for JavaScript and it's just so much nicer to work with. And JL says, haha, thanks. Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, again, like, and by the way, like, just a reminder to everybody who's watching this stream, if you guys are developers, these games are open source. So like, you know, if you ever feel the need to like, or if you ever see something that you're like, man, wouldn't it be cool if this did that? And then you think like, hey, I could probably make that. Feel free to like fork the repository onto your GitHub account, make the change, and try and do a pull request back into the master version, master branch, and I'll check it out and I'll review it. And as long as it's not breaking anything or like ruining anyone's day, just by like making the game not fun or whatever, as long as it's not doing anything kind of malicious, then yeah, I'll totally merge it in. And if you don't want to contribute right at like a code level, you can also reach out to me on Discord, and I can make you a collaborator on the project, which means you'll be able to add issues which can represent either enhancements or bugs or changes or whatever. Just kind of the big gigantic to-do list for our game that's just growing exponentially. Export default enemy, so that'll make it available for import in other classes. Now let's get started on the constructor. So we'll pass some config in, or it'll take some config, and then it'll take that config. And you know what I was thinking is like the way I'm doing it in this enemy class is actually kind of a little jank, and like we can do it a way better way with ES6. We can just use the spread operator and say ... config, and that effectively is doing the same thing as this. And it's just taking all of the properties of config and it's spreading them all. Oh wait, hold the phone. Oh wait, no, hold on, I can't do that. I don't think I can do that actually, because it's expecting certain things in certain orders, and that would be giving it key value properties. So scratch that, pretend I didn't say that, but in a lot of cases you can do that spread operator thing, and it's super, super handy and makes your code look real clean sometimes. Config.x and config.x again, no. Config.x, config.y, config.key. Alrighty. So now we'll do, yeah, again, you know what, I can just lift a lot of this straight from the enemy. Why don't we just do that? We're not going to bother with a hit point system for our items, obviously, because I shouldn't say obviously, because some games do implement like item health, but we're not going to be doing that in this game, so don't sweat that. And then all the rest of that is specific to enemies, so we don't need any of that anymore. We can just create one property on here, which will be is UI, and we'll say default that to false. And yeah, I guess that's really it for our constructor. And Mitch, you're really liking ES6. Good, man, that's sick. Me too, dude. My first encounter with it was with React.js, and the minute I like first found it, I was like, whoa, this is a game changer. And just, yeah, I fell in love with it, and ever since then I've always wanted to use it on my projects. And JL says, spring break is coming, you will have some time to help out. Oh, nice, JL, sweet, dude. That's awesome. Well, yeah, JL, I can't remember, are you on our Discord, or do you just come hang out on the streams mostly? I always get people mixed up on the Discord too, because like sometimes people have different usernames and sometimes it's the same, but yeah. Well, anyways, if you're not here, you know what? I'll just do this right now. So doink. What's the settings? 1 day. Sure, no limit. That works. So yeah, if you are not already on there, feel free to join. If you are, I apologize, and just let me know your username, and I'll, or I guess just let me know your GitHub username, really, and then I'll add you as a collaborator so you can see all the, you can manage like issues and stuff, and then when the time comes, you'll be all set and good to go for working on whatever. Righto, so this actually probably would be enough to just instantiate just like a little basic, if we were to, oh, wow, I really just read that straight from the other file. This should be item, and we'll say item again, not enemy. We're creating items now, not enemies. I'm just blind. So now why don't we actually, so I guess for now items are just going to live in our sprites directory. That does seem a little bit wrong to me, but yeah, you know what, it's okay. We're just going to have to deal with it. Or maybe, you know what, here, maybe if this will make me sleep, this will help me sleep at night. So we'll just say like, maybe like static sprites? Is that going to be like the right term? Maybe. I feel like I always freak out way too much about like terminology and like what to call what, and really at the end of the day it's not like the hugest thing to worry about. But anyways, inside static we'll have items, and then inside items we'll have our first item, but I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. And you joined. Oh, you joined the Discord. Cool, man. Sweet. And that's you on GitHub. Sweet. So yoink. I'm just gonna, sorry, I hope you don't mind me bringing you up on here. I'm just gonna snag your username, and I'll do that right now, because just before I forget. Hopefully I'm not going to reveal anything top secret on the stream, but I don't think so. Collaborators. Password. Look away, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, the stream's not over. The stream's not over. I'm just entering my password. If I can remember it. You know what? I can't remember my password. We'll just, I will do that later. I promise I'll add you into it, man. And Mitch, you say you always get stuck on naming. It's your bane. Your bane. Yeah, I feel you, man. It's annoying. It's it's just such an easy trap to fall into, because like you start thinking of like every like possible future scenario, and like obviously that's just a rabbit hole. So like you're just gonna sit there for hours and be like, but what if this happened? Would it still make sense? And then it's like, does it matter though? Because like the code's still gonna work. So anyway. The code doesn't care what stuff's called. You could literally call it whatever you want. I actually made a website once where I made all of the class names on my DOM objects. I made all of the class names just like fruits and vegetables. I just called like my nav bar like cucumber, and like buttons were like different berries and stuff. It was funny. It was actually really fun, and I kind of just want to like, I enjoy making that a thing. But Mitch says, so hard to predict the future of code. Oh man, so true. Like that's like the real, like that's how you can tell like the legit coders is the ones who can really you know, just like that's like what makes a software architect, I think, is that they have that kind of vision, and they can see where things are going and see the scalability and blah 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 blah. So anyways, why don't we draw our first item, or like first two items. So let's draw like just two items for good measure, I guess. And yeah, and I'll let you guys help shape these items if you so desire. We can make them together and just make up whatever stuff. So one of them, let's just make it, or you know what, let's just go like that and just have this as our drawing area. Except we don't really want a white background, and for some reason part of it's cut out, but yeah, we don't want a yellow background, we want a white background, but that was black, so there we go, wink. And before we do anything, make a new layer so that not all hell breaks loose, and yeah. So okay, yes, let's see here. Oh, you know what? I totally just realized I actually forgot to like mention that I was going live anywhere. But what should our first ever item in this game be, guys? What are you thinking? Shout out any and all ideas, item ideas. And I'll try my best to draw it. No guarantees that it's going to turn out good, but yeah. And in the meantime, I'll let you guys think on some ideas for items there. I'm just going to shout out in, yo, hey JL. I'm just going to throw up a message in here too. Mention I'm live on Twitch, Twitch, and HTTPS. No, not this. Okay. Twitch.tv/Sargden. Okay, there we go. Shameless self-promotion over, and back to drawing items, shall we? Purple monkey dishwasher, says Mitch. Alright, man, let's do it. Purple monkey dishwasher. So, like, what's a dishwasher? So, dishwasher is kind of just like a box. It's gonna have to be like a miniature version though, because it's got to be like something he can fit like in a backpack or his pocket. So it's gonna be like a mini purple monkey dishwasher. So, I don't know. Also, this is like, you know what my bane is, Mitch? My bane is drawing straight lines with all of my any digital drawing tool. Drawing straight lines, I just get wrecked. So okay, I don't have a dishwasher, so like I can't. I'm just doing this from like childhood memories right now, but fairly certain they're square. Fairly certain they usually have like a thing like this. They don't have a window. That's like a washing machine for like clothes. Also don't have one of those. Well, I mean, I have a laundry room, which is a bummer, but love to have a laundry machine in my apartment. That'd be a game changer. Give it some buttons. 4 should suffice. And like, I don't know, this could be like a little handle or something to like open it easier maybe. And now what's gonna, or maybe the monkey is a career dishwasher. Like, oh, like he washes dishes. Oh, right. Okay. Purple monkey dishwasher as in literally a monkey who washes dishes. I was thinking like a dishwasher, but somehow it had monkeys. I hadn't got that far into the thought, so like that's why I just started drawing a dishwasher, and I was like, we'll figure out the monkey part in due time. Well, I mean, you know what? Why don't we repurpose this? This can be like let's just call this a strange device. And it'll be a little box thing, and we'll just give it some more little weird details here. So like maybe it like has like a little plug on this side, kind of like a GoPro battery or something. You guys know what I mean by that? It's like got like the weird little extension on the side. And like that. Okay. Perfect. And maybe just like, I don't know, partition it or something. Sure. You know, I'm like judging this thing so hard, and then I'm like, but you know what? I don't even really know what it's supposed to be, so I'm just gonna chill. So, okay. Maybe the button things can be green, although realistically these details we're probably not going to be seeing too much of, but still. I'll know forever. And why don't we make it kind of like a pinky HSB, please? Like a purpley, pinky, silvery kind of grayish color. Heavy on the purple. Oh wait, that moves that way. Well, whatever. Then sort of this color, I guess. Mitch drops a YouTube link. Let's see. I'll check that out right now. Is it PG-13, PG-14-ish? Oh, okay, let's see. Well, it's The Simpsons. Simpsons is fine. Wait, hold on.
Skinner said the teachers will crack any minute purple monkey dishwasher.
Well, we'll show him, especially for that purple monkey dishwasher remark.
Okay, I see. So this is the origin of the purple monkey dishwasher. Okay, all right, interesting. I gotcha. PG. All right, cool, man. Sweet. I mean, I just played it anyways, but you know, yeah. I'm trying to keep these streams like PG-13-ish so that like kids could watch them, but like, I'm trying and I'm not doing a very good job. Basically, like I've definitely dropped pretty much every bomb on this one except for like the really bad ones that like you get in trouble for nowadays. So yeah, I mean, and all of these streams end up on YouTube later, right? So like, I mean, I guess if there's angry parents out there who already like hate me, I apologize. And if there's kids out there who want to watch my stream but their parents don't let them, you know what? I wish I would tell you listen to your parents, but I know you probably won't. So, you know, this is kind of tiny and this is going to take a long time to color. So let's think this through a little bit more. Okay, boink, boink. There we go. I gotta say, I think, who was I with? I was with, I'm trying to remember his username on Twitch. And I can't even think of his username on Discord because it's super long. But gentleman from the last stream, me and him were hanging out quite early this morning on the Discord. And he introduced me to this other stream that I followed, and it was really good, like really good dev stream. And anyway, yeah, I really don't know what I'm doing color wise here, but whatever, it's fine, it works. And the top could be like this, like a purple color, sure, and maybe a little lighter. Anyway, we were watching this stream and like oh man, I'm losing my train of thought, sorry. We were watching this stream and like, man, he had like the coolest ritual for like when someone followed his channel. I wasn't expecting it at all. I genuinely just followed him because like I thought his channel was awesome and his content was legit. Because like what he was doing was he was making a two-dimensional game, pardon me, but he was using like Blender and like using three-dimensional tools to create two-dimensional graphics. But like the thing that was sick about that was like when you're actually like drawing out perspective and like doing all this stuff and like also like texturing stuff, like how I'm like coloring right now, or like whatever other kind of texturing you wanted to do, like if you wanted to make like a rock texture or whatever. But he was doing it all in 3D, but then he would like render what he was actually wanting to do as 2D. And I just thought like that was like a really interesting way of creating like graphics, and it was working really well for him because his graphics were like phenomenally good. And yeah, I just thought that was a really neat way. But anyways, also, yeah, he had really like hilarious like following rituals and stuff like that. Oh, and yo, Mitch, by the way, shout out for the follow on Twitch. I don't know why it didn't beep at me and tell me that you did. Sorry, man. I thought I had the like alert overlay thing set up. I thought I had that all worked out. But anyways, thanks for the follow, dude. But yeah, his follow, like that was my follow ritual. Is I just say, hey, thanks, man. Like that's awesome. But his follow ritual puts mine to shame. Basically, what would happen on his stream was, first of all, he had some crazy like Internet of Things like set up so that all the lights. Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, but so okay, for real, like I'm not even kidding. All the lights in his room, so like I've got these kind of string lights, but he had all these like disco lights and stuff, and like these kind of cool LEDs, and they just started going crazy. Like when someone followed, like his lights in his real room started freaking out, and then, you know, it popped up on screen kind of like normal, and then, like, he would notice that would happen, and, like, he must have had, like, a stream deck or just, like, an extra keyboard or something, and he would push, like, a button, and then his whole stream would, like, switch over into, like, kind of like a music video mode, where, like, it just kind of, like, showed, like, the same, like, camera, like, a bunch of different times, and, like, with all these weird, like, filters on it and stuff, and with all the lights and stuff going, and he had like this kind of like cheesy like I don't know, techno-y disco-y kind of music going, and like he would just get up and like start doing like a welcome dance, and then like that was it. It just like it just happened, and it was over in a flash. But yeah, isn't that sick though? Like, yeah, Mitch says that's crazy awesome, and like, dude, for real, like I wasn't expecting that one bit. I just followed him because I liked his thing, and then like I was like my jaw dropped. I was like, what? So I want to do something cool. I want to get really creative with my stream and like make it wicked cool like that for people, because that was like that was like the moment when I was kind of like, oh shit. So like sky is kind of the limit on streaming. So that's pretty sweet. What's his channel? I'll bring it up in a second here, and man, if he's online, we should raid him at the end of the thing. But yeah, here, let me find it. I followed him, so he'll be in here. Yeah, here it is. Rock Knight Studio. Rock Knight Studios. Raid. Yeah, dude, we should. Was he online? I didn't even really notice, but yeah, that's him there. So yeah, shout out to his channel, man. It was awesome. And apparently he's got like a regular on that channel who like will do like a rap anytime someone joins, like legit like rap, like just a Beatle play or something, and they'll do a rap. It's just crazy, man. Like their shit's just next level. Right, anywho, so I'm just going to declare this weird box item, floppy disk, whatever, the GoPro battery thing, dishwasher, done. What should let's make our next item something like slightly more understandable, that we might actually use in the game. So like, I'm thinking like a little piece of like a robot part or something would be cool. Hale26, you said, I just want one of those video loops, like motion of trees or stars or such, even a simple image that blinks every 15 seconds XD, for like when someone follows, like as in just like play like an animation or like over the screen. That'd be cool too. Yeah. I wonder if there's like a way that you could write like something with the Twitch API that would like go and like grab the person's display picture and like throw up their display picture, or BRB, so on. Yeah, true, man. That'd be good. Yeah. But yeah, I wonder if we could do something with like the Twitch API to like grab like the display picture of the new follower and like I don't know, like throw them up on the screen and be like, yo, welcome so-and-so. You can add a browser element. Right, yeah, right. Yeah, right. I've got, that's how I'm doing the live chat in the feed, and same with the little activity log. And I think that's it right now, but yeah. That's how Stream Elements does it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, robot parts. Here's, okay. So, like, a gear would make sense, I guess. I'm just thinking what we could, well, I think I'm thinking too far ahead, so let's just do a gear. Okay, so gear, kind of start with, like, that. Or maybe keep it straight, so, like, this might turn out, this could go a few ways. This could go massively sideways and look like the worst gear in the world, or we could be awesome and put Gears of War to shame, less likely, and I think, you know, what normally happens with my stuff is it kind of meets somewhere in the middle and ends up looking fairly wildly average. Although this is, I think, leaning a little towards the not so awesome gear thing. You know, I'm not even going to call this a gear. I'm just going to call this a ball with kind of like notchy things on it. No, you know what? No. I'm not gonna cop out. I'm gonna erase stuff and make it like actually a gear. Oh, that's why the lines are so thick. I was using 20 width there. Oopsies. Well, too late now. Here we go. Grr. Have you guys heard about that app store that they have on Streamlabs now? Because apparently you can become a developer for that and like create create your own apps that other streamers can use and like sell them in the app store. Which like I'm kind of trying to get away from selling stuff to like and like support myself off this whole thing with like the like just but keeping everything free and open source, but like I know that's harder and that's gonna like take a lot of time to build up and all that, so like just thinking like in the middle that would be pretty sweet to like make some random like little stream apps. And the other thing is that like, you know, like you could sell them and like possibly make a little bit of cheddar, but also just saying you could maybe you might be able to what am I saying, we'd be able to use them in our stream too, which would be kind of cool. Mitch, you gotta go. See you next time. Yeah, dude, sounds good. Thanks for joining us and hanging out. And yeah, I'll see you around, man. See you on the Discord. See you around here. Have a good one, dude. So here's my super janky gear. Cool. And we'll give it like some detail in the middle too. Something like this. Sure, that ought to do. Except I put that on the color layer, so let's just fix that really quick. What am I doing? What's going on? There we go. It's been fun. Good, man. I'm glad. That's what I'm going for, man. I just want these streams to be chill. I want them to be fun. I want them to be a place where you can just hang out and we'll just make cool stuff and yeah, just work together. Alrighty, so gear can be this kind of tintedy blue color or something. I don't know. Up that back to 30 so it'd be a bit quicker to color all this. Sorry, I get really in the zone when I like draw and color stuff. Like I noticed that like this is gonna sound intense, but like I noticed that sometimes when I'm holding a long line or like I'm like coloring for a long time without raising the pencil stylus, whatever, I find that like I'll actually like hold my breath and then like I'll get to the end and I'll be like and it's like, oh right, you should probably remember to breathe. Like that's kind of fundamental when you're a person. So anyways, there's our kind of bluish gear thing. So yeah, our items are looking a little weird, but I mean, you know what? That's fine. They're the first iteration of they're more or less just test items so that we can test out the code for our class. And all that. So not the end of the world that they're not on the super profesh side. Sorry, I'm just having some cable management issues here, aka everything's tangled. Everything. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, let's snag these guys and put them in their own files, and I'm not gonna really worry about keeping this this GIMP file, so we'll just merge that down and ditch the layers so that we can copy all the things and zoom it on in. Where's our handle? There we go. Ba-dum. Bum. Oops. And bum ba bum. Bum ba bum. By the way, if any of you guys are not Twitch, well, yes, Twitch. If any of you guys are really gurus for anything, do like feel free to tell me if I'm like doing anything in a really like whack, super weird way that doesn't make sense. And like if there's a way better way of doing the thing that I'm working on, then do just shout out in the chat and be like, Kirk, you can save yourself a lot of time by not being bad if you follow these steps. So source, sprite, no, not sprite, that's code. We want assets, images, sprites, and this one we'll just call, we'll just make a folder for both of these. We'll say test items. So we'll call this cog. And we can get out of that. Don't really need the file. And I have no idea what we're going to call this. Let's call it Purple Monkey Dishwasher. Why not? That was the inspiration. It was going to be a Purple Monkey Dishwasher, and it will remain a Purple Monkey Dishwasher. Do. Alright, cool. Go like this and like this. Now we can save it and we should be just golden. So we're going to call it PMD for Purple Monkey Dishwasher. PMD. Alright. Get out of GIMP because we're done there. Now let's get into our preloader and get those images loaded in first. And we are going to load them in as sprites, not images, but same deal. Preloader scene. Oh, hold on. Actually, shoot. I shouldn't have... Oh, we can just do this. This works. Sprites, and we're looking for test items, and we'll just keep that open so when the time comes we can grab the width and height of our sprites there, because we need to know that for the sprite sheet loader. Even though technically it's only going to be one frame, but no big deal. Well, you know what, actually kind of yes, D, let's not do that. Let's just load them in as images. What am I doing? So we'll call the first one, let's just preface them all with items. So item cog, and then item, PMD, Purple Monkey Dishwasher. Item PMD. So item images sprites, and we'll say, what was it, test items, I think? Yeah, we test items, plural, I think. test items, and the first one is going to be cog. Second one will be item, or just PMD. PMD. Alright, cool. So, oh, you heading out too, JL? Have a good one, man. I'll get you on the GitHub. I won't forget about that. I'll write a note to myself. JL on GitHub. Yeah. Alright, so we got our images loaded in. Now we can start creating our item classes that extend our base item class. So we'll do that in this directory that we made. So we'll call the first one just cog.js. That's easy. And we'll say, first of all, we'll import our item class from, gotta go // base / item. Then we'll say class cog extends item. If you guys have been with us up until this point, this pattern is going to look pretty similar to you. We've done similar things with the levels, with the enemies. Not quite the same thing as what we did with our character classes, but it will be in the future, so it's all kind of the same ideas, just that we're creating base classes, extending from those. Oh, you got school tomorrow, JL. Yeah, man. No problem, man. Of course. Thanks for wanting to help out, man. It's means a lot, man. It's seriously, it's really cool when people start getting involved with these things. Like, it's a really cool feeling. Anyways, yeah, man. Good night. Good luck in school tomorrow. So export default cog just to export it so it's available for importing. And then we'll say constructor config, and not 100% sure what all that config is going to be just yet, but one thing we're going to be passing into the super, well, I guess the super is going to be taking config too, isn't it? So yeah, super will go like this, and we'll first of all we'll just say all the config. So now the spread operator comes into play. So because we're in an object, we can use the spread operator and it'll spread the key value pairs of whatever's in here amongst here. So it's just it's all stuff that's doable without the fancy syntax, but oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. The fancy syntax makes it a lot nicer. Ugh. Yikes. So super config, so that's all that, and we're gonna need to pass in the texture too. So let's get this on the other side so we can have them side by side and get that examination going a little easier. So config.texture is what we're looking for that. So we'll say texture. Yeah, texture is whatever the key was we used. It was item-cog. So item cog. All right, and really, as far as I know, that might be all we need to set. I get a sneaking suspicion we might also have to set the width and height of the body, but we'll circle back to that if it's a problem, because it isn't always, and I haven't figured out the pattern of when it is a problem and when it isn't a problem just yet. So we just gotta import this into our level. So let's import it into level 1. So we'll say import cog from spritos /static /items. Then now that we've got our cog imported, we just have to create an instantiation of him, much the same way that we're creating this engineer class, for example, our NPC, and so on and so forth. I do think it makes... Okay, well, we'll cross... I'm thinking a little too far ahead. I was just getting a little bogged down on how we're going to be doing the collision detection between not only this item, but also multiple items in the future, but we'll figure it out. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's always a way. So... why don't we just do it like this, just to test it? So we'll say const, we'll call it our just cog equals new cog. A little bit of stuff we're gonna have to pass into it is be much the same as this guy. So we need an X and a Y, a key. Oh, right, yeah, key, just so that it can uniquely identify itself, or the phaser can uniquely identify it, I suppose. And yeah, drop that in there. Obviously we can't use the same key as another sprite, because that's the whole point of having a key. So we'll say just item test cog. And now let's move it over by like 4 tiles and leave all the rest the same. Let's see if this... Oh, I didn't put a semicolon. But let's test that and see if it all blows up or if it's good. Hasn't blown up yet. But I'm also not seeing our item. Alright. Alright, yeah, let's search for our missing cog, shall we? So 24 times 100 should mean it's on the 24th tile on the x-axis, because the tiles are 100 by 100, hence the times 100. What if I just don't change the x and y at all from the engineer? Would that just drop him in the same place? Would nothing change? What's going on? Uh-oh. Can't resolve. Oh, can't resolve. Static / items. Oh, right. That would probably help if we could actually import the right thing. So that would be why we're not seeing anything, is because this path doesn't exist. And I didn't even specify. Wow. Silly me. So /cog. There we go. Should probably finish the import statement before I go ahead and start creating classes. That's or creating objects, I guess. Okay, so seeing more weird lines just randomly appearing everywhere, but I don't think that's anything we're doing wrong, unfortunately. I think that might be a phaser internal thing. If I'm wrong, I apologize to phaser, but yeah, I think that might be a phaser thing. Now let's try moving him over by 4 tiles and see if this works. There it is. So it's appearing, so for one thing it's falling directly through the map, which means we are going to have to pass it into a group for items and create a collider between that items group and the map. And then also on top of that, it looks to me like the actual image wasn't showing and it was just an empty pink box. Although that could be down to some layering issues. So you know what? We'll cross that bridge after we deal with the collision detection. So much like the same way as we're doing NPCs, we're just going to create a new array that's called items. And it shouldn't be cost, it should be const. So const items equals new array, and pass in the cog object. And then the reason we're doing this as an array is so that we can handle having many foobar. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you, dude. How was your day? And anyways, we'll pass this items array into our init scene function, where deep within our level class will handle all of our collision detection and so forth. That's our subtitle logic from last stream. But yeah, right around, we'll do it right around where we're doing the NPCs too, because it's all going to be very similar logic. So we created a this.npcs. Let's find that. That's where we're adding the collider. Right here. So right, yeah, we're doing it in the same place as NPCs, enemies, and we'll do items as well. This.items, and we'll say items. What's up? You go to work in 1 hour. Oh man, nice. Oh wow, dude. Well, thanks very much for tuning in. That's awesome of you, dude. Right now we're just we're making a okay. We already got a basic dialogue system working now, so that if you can talk to this, dude, and he'll go through a little speech. He's reading stuff a little bit fast right now, and we just did that to test things faster. But you can see he can ask you a question, and there's a couple answers you can choose from. So you choose an answer, he'll talk more, blah blah blah. Now what we're making is we're creating like an item system, and then after we get the item system, if we still have time in this stream, I'm hoping we can do like a really basic inventory as well. So that's the plan. That's the plan, Stan. Anyway, so here's our items physics group. And basically down here where we're adding the colliders, right here, we're just going to basically do the exact same, but instead of NPCs, we're going to be checking for items versus the solid layer. And the last thing we want to do in here, which I think is probably going to solve the bug of it disappearing, is we just need to set the layering correctly. So I'm thinking in this case, oh, excuse me. I think we can give them the same layer as our MC. So underneath NPCs, we'll say this dot items dot set depth, and we'll pass in 3, just like our NPC or our main character. Sorry, not our NPC. Oh, we're getting something that it doesn't like. So items is not defined. Okay. Oh, right, because we need to specify it up in our deconstructed arguments, or deconstructed arguments. So enemies, NPCs, and now items equals an array. So if they pass nothing, it's just an empty array. And if they pass something, it's a giant cog. Okay, so not quite, but close. Giant cog, and it's also way out of its box. But that could just, well, actually I'm not sure why it's out of its box, but anyways, we'll get back to that. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at what we're doing with our NPC. Where let's just search for it, that's faster. Here we go. NPCs, that's the group, collider, depth. Oh, that's it. Group, collider, depth. Oh man. When do you do a tutorial on Phaser on YouTube? Little tuto like coding train. I've never seen coding train, Fubar. What's coding train? I'm gonna check that out right now. Coding train, it's on YouTube? I'm gonna search for it, so we'll find out. The coding train. Oh, I know this guy. Yeah. So this is the kind of length of tutorial that you'd like to see. Hey, Fubar is like kind of 13 minutes to 20, 28 is kind of a long one. 35 is a long one. So like 15 to 35 maybe. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I did run through the first written tutorial I made, and I tried to make a video tutorial of it, but the problem is when I was done recording, I looked at the time, and it had taken me about 2 hours to record the whole thing. So, yeah, that was not really ideal. I think I was just, like, over-explaining everything to death, and, like, just kind of, like, getting way too nitty-gritty with all the details, but, yeah, I'm trying to make, like, some shorter ones that I can get up on YouTube. I need to start getting something else on YouTube, because right now, really, all I'm posting is just these, the live stream archives. And, yeah. So, okay, I hate to say it, guys, but hold on, switch over to me. I hate to say it, you guys, but I'm actually, like, really fading pretty fast here. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep after the last stream just because, believe it or not, I actually hit affiliate status during the last stream, which I was really stoked on. But the problem with that is I had a really hard time falling asleep just because I was really excited. And, anywho, so what I'm thinking is, why don't we try and raid another channel just to do something a little bit more fun at the end of this one. Feels bad, man. Oh, sorry, Unicorn Dev. Sorry, man. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Are you down to raid another channel? Feeling that, or less so? I don't know. I just want to see real quick if my boy, who I was talking about earlier, is online. Keep forgetting his username, but I'm just gonna check really quick if he's. Let's write some code. Just keep going. Yeah, man. Honestly, I want to, but like, I'm honestly fading, man. I think really it'd be better if I just got a bit of sleep, came back strong tomorrow, and just really like crushed it tomorrow. You know. Also, I don't really want to watch my own thing. Yeah, later, man. Sorry, Ollie D's. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Sorry for the bit of a letdown tonight. We got a little bit done, but yeah, I gotta call it here tonight. I think maybe we're not so feeling the raid. So yeah, we'll do something like that last time. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'm gonna switch over to the outro screen now. I do apologize, Unicorn Dev, Ollie D's, everybody who was here. Raid myself, says Unicorn Dev. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get a good night's rest tonight, and I'll come back strong tomorrow. My sleep schedule is just something that's been a total mess lately, and I've been really trying to get on top of it and just be a healthy, normal human being. Isn't that what we all want? So yeah. Anyways, you guys, I hope you guys have a great night and enjoy the things. Yeah. Good night. Good night, man. Good night, Unicron Dev. All right. See you guys.